Well, hello there, beautiful people. Welcome to Pretty Girl Loves Trap content. This is my recap slash review for Bel Air season 1, episode 9. Can't knock the hustle. You guys, can you believe it's episode 9 already? Like, for real? I really hope we don't have to wait a whole nother year for a season 2, but that's pretty common. But kudos to everyone involved in this show. It is chef kiss. Like, you can't get no better than that. Like, what other reboot is better than this? Don't get me wrong. I haven't watched a lot of reboots, but this one is like the perfect reboot in my opinion, okay? So y'all, let's get into it, all right? So we start off with Will. He's getting dressed and he has some issues tying his tie, okay? Like the bro needs help, okay? So perfect timing. Jeffrey comes in and he helps with his tie. And this also kind of illustrates how Will, he just never really had that fatherly figure to kind of help him with things such as tying a tie. So I thought this was really cute and really telling of, what Will has been needing, throughout his life. And it's so perfect that Jeffrey is tying his tie for him because, Jeffrey has really been more about Will making his own decision in terms of, getting in contact with his father, but Will also updates, asks for an update regarding his father. And Jeffrey was like, okay, I'm looking into it. All right. So apparently, Will is getting all dressed up because the family is going to church. Okay. They are going to praise the Lord. Okay. And everybody is looking beautiful, regal. I must say, Viv, she had on a like off the shoulder dress that showed a little bit of cleavage. I'm like, Viv, is this really, appropriate for the Lord? I'm just saying, okay? Hillary came in there. She had, of course, Hillary is always bomb. I love her outfit choices, but yeah, her skirt is kind of short. Okay, you're gonna need a little prayer cloth or something, girl, when you sit down. I hope you ain't sitting at the front pew, because I'm just saying we don't need to be flashing the pastor and whatnot. Okay, but yeah, of course, this church meeting, this church session, um yeah, it's for a purpose, okay? Reverend Lamont is the reverend of this church. And yeah, this is the person that Phil has been wanting to get endorsed by. So yeah, this is kind of twofold, okay? You're getting some of that weekly Jesus in, and you're also trying to get in good to get some of the black vote, okay? So they also mentioned that Carlton, he has a solo. I'm like, oh, Carlton, you be singing and whatnot. Okay, I'm not mad of your many talents, all right? And so, we head to the church, and actually is asking them Reverend about, accommodating the LGBTQ community. And, he was like, okay, I'm gonna be open minded. But I'm like, how realistic is this? Because, the churches be judgmental and whatnot. So I like how they put that in there. And so, yeah, Will decides to ask Carlton about, his father and, wanting Carlton's advice about, trying to, do research on his father. And Carlton, he's like, I wish I could help you, bro, but I gotta sing, okay? Are you okay? We cool? All right. Bye bye. So Carlton, he gets up and sings, and his voice seems very beautiful. I feel like he's the one actually singing, and he just started to freeze and crack a little bit in terms of his voice. And I'm like, oh God, Carlton, what's going on here? So apparently his anxiety is kicking in, and your boy left. He left the altar, and I'm like, I just want to give him a little hug. I'm like, oh, you know how they say you supposed to like picture everybody naked if you get nervous, but that would have been appropriate in church. So I'm not sure what the poor boy should have been doing. But yeah, I would have been up in the front, like, take your time, boy, take your time. You know how, I'm seeing the mother of the church they be, encouraging the little kids and whatnot. So I just felt so bad for Carlton, but his anxiety got the best of him, okay? And so we get home, and Vivian asks Ashley, like, hey, you've been, you know, kind of dropping the other causes like global warming for LGBTQ, causes. So is there something you want to share with me? Like, I'm an open book. You can share. And of course, she's not comfortable sharing this information with her parents, so she pretty much brushes her off. But Viv, I'm glad you at least approached it and made it seem like you were, an open book and that you were non-judgmental. I really appreciated that about that scene. So in the kitchen, Will and Hillary, they're in the, and they're chatting it up, and Hillary's making chicken and waffles, y'all. You know how much I wanted to come through that screen, okay? Lord knows I love the chicken and the waffles and whatnot, okay? Especially Roscoe's chicken and waffles, okay? If you guys have not been to LA or the surrounding areas, Roscoe's is where it's at. They have the best waffles, the best pan fried chicken. You think your grandma fried it like. So yeah, during this conversation, y'all, because I had to change the subject before I get mad, okay? I may make that this weekend. I may make that on Sunday, y'all. Anywho, Will, and Hillary, they were talking about Carlton and, what happened. And he was like, well, yeah, your brother likes to party. So, he was kind of hinting. So she was like, what are you talking about? So he pretty much told Hillary about Carlton's drug problem. And she was unaware. And she was like, oh my God, well, you have to talk to him. He was like, well, I don't know about that. You think you should? She was like, well, since I don't really know about it, it probably won't be the best coming from me. So she urges Will to stop eating his chicken and waffles, which he didn't even get to eat yet, okay? He was about to pick up that piece of chicken, and I was about to be on the screen, like, eat that chicken, boy. But yeah, she interrupted his meal, and yeah, he proceeds to talk to Carlton, and him and Carlton have a really good heart-to-heart talk. I really love their scenes together. This show really has a way to have great dialogue, but not be cheesy. So I really love it. But yeah, Carlton explained like, hey, I'm under a lot of pressure. I just want to do well for my dad. And I didn't eat anything this morning. Like I was really like freaking out. So Will was like, I'm here for you, bro. Like really being supportive. So I really appreciated that. But yeah, he's a lot of self pressure, I believe. Um, we all do that, so that's kind of common, all right. So Hillary calls Jazz, and yeah, she enlists him to help her move her things out of the influencer house. Okay, they're kind of low key sneaking in, but I'm like, ain't his cameras on like all the time? Like I would think Kylo has cameras on 24/7. So, girl, he probably gonna be sending you an invoice next episode. Like, where are my things, honey? I mean, it was her things. Well, some of the things. I don't know if he like purchased some of the items for her. I don't know, but yeah, girl. Good luck with that, all right? But they a little cute couple. I really like Jazz and Hillary, all right? So Jeffrey, of course, coming through in the clutch. He hands Will an envelope that contains information about Will's dad, okay? And Jeffrey's suit is fire. I mean, it's like a little navy suit and like a little paisley tie with some gold hardware buttons. I'm like, y'all are doing it in the wardrobe department. Like, I must give it to y'all. And so he gives Will, the package, and Will was like, okay, be real with me, G. Okay, is this something that I really should be looking into? You know what I'm saying? Like, please just steer me in the right direction, okay? Because I had heard on the streets, okay, this may not be the best, decision. So he was like, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, this may be something that's detrimental to this family. So Will has a very hard decision to make, all right? So we see Jeffrey, Phil, and Dwayne Martin. I think his name is Steven. His character's name is Steven, his campaign manager. They are discussing Raggedy Fred Wilkes, okay? And he is going to be like just nasty in this debate, okay? And so, of course, now we know the information about the affair that Fred had on his wife. So, they was telling like Phil, like, you got this, like you got really some dirt on him. So you good. And Jeffrey, he had to let, good old Phil know, like, I don't feel like this is right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're really doing a lot And they discuss ethics and what's right, and just playing the dirty game. Politics is a dirty game. So yeah, Jeffrey was speaking his mind. I appreciated that. Okay, he wasn't just going to be a yes man. All right, even though he is an employee, but I feel like they kind of blur the lines between employee and employer. Like they're really low key friends. Okay, so Vivian, she meets with the fellowship committee, and y'all, this scene gave me so much goosebumps. Oh my god, they had the original aunt. I mean, the original Vivian. No, is it Viv? No, Vi, Aunt Vi. Sorry, y'all, all these V's, girl. Whew. Yeah, the original Aunt Vi that played in the Fresh Prince, and they had the second Aunt Viv, and I was like, oh, this is so cute. It would have been fire if they would have had the original on Viv as well, but I was just happy seeing them too. So I'm like, I'm gonna take what I can get. But y'all got goosebumps. I'm like, this is so cute. I wonder if they're gonna have like other cast members pop up. That would be so cute. They have like season 2, some of the cast members just in random scenes, y'all. This is so cute. So, they're pretty much asking her, like, hey, why did you stop painting? And so she was like, I can tell you the demands of being a mother and a wife was the reason. She was like, but low key, I got tired. It was hard out there in them streets, okay? Trying to, just explain my art and my craft to the world. It's exhausting, okay? So she was like, that's pretty much the reason, y'all. But they pretty much told her, like, you approve. Like, we want to go ahead and have you a part of this. And, it is demanding. There's a lot of traveling involved. So we're going to give you some time to think about it. I was like, okay, girls, do your thing. So Will pretty much decided that he does not want to learn about Lou, okay? So it's his decision. But I know eventually he's going to want some closure. Like, this is going to eat at him for the rest of his life if he doesn't find out some answers. So, yeah, for now, he doesn't want to find out about good old Lou, okay? And I'm still, what is going on with Lou in this situation? Like, this better be some juicy gossip, some juicy tea, because y'all are hyping this whole situation up like the tea and the gossip of the century, child. I am ready for it. Okay, it's going to be in the shade room. Let us sister know. Okay, so we see Lisa. Okay, she's arguing with her dad about Will, and he low key just end up showing her information about Will's arrest. And so she's like, well, how do you know this wasn't made up? Like, I don't trust this. Okay, he was like, girl, no. But she went ahead and left the house, child. And I'm like, ooh, that's what they do in Bel Air. Okay, they letting the kids leave and storm out. Okay, whatever. So we see um Uncle Uncle Phil. He was given the envelope back from Will, and I think Will was under the impression that Uncle Phil knew about it. But yeah, he low key got Jeffrey fired in the sense. Not really, because Uncle Phil didn't have to fire Jeffrey because yeah, Jeffrey was trying to do the best for the family, and those lines are blurred. But Uncle Phil was pissed that he went against his word, so that is insubordination. So I can see a little suspension and whatnot, but you ain't had to fire the man. But he ended up firing him because he was like, I can't trust you. But Jeffrey went ahead to read and tell Uncle Phil about his life. Okay, he was explaining, hey, your wife put a career on the side for you. Your daughter's over here being buck wild. But he stopped it real quick when he got on Hillary. He was like, not baby girl. You are not about to stop talking about my baby girl. So I was like, okay, I get that. But yeah, Jeffrey, he explained like, hey, you tell the world that you fired me, something is gonna, simmer, okay? The vlogs is going to be vlogging, okay? The newspaper is going to be newspapering, okay? The news is going to be newsing, all right? So let's just say, I had a little family emergency to not, just draw any suspicion and heat from the situation. So they agree and they hug it out. And I'm like, oh my God, this is such a touching scene. And then when Jeffrey leaves, Will just ends up crying because Jeffrey told him like, hey, your family is going to crack. And child, whew. But his exact words was they're gonna like he said, they're gonna split under pressure. And Uncle Phil, he loved his family. So I was like, oh my God, I love this little friendship they have. So pretty much lied to Aunt Viv and told her, yeah, Will decided not to look up his dad on his own. I was like, oh, that ain't really. I mean, yeah, that's true, but he didn't explain the whole story, so I consider that mine. Okay, but yeah, did y'all peep Aunt Viv's hair? Like, she was giving me like Coming to America vibes. Like, not to be funny, but like bark like a dog. Like that character, she had her long hair and the beads and everything. Like her hair was everything. Okay, good job in the hair department. Okay, so Vivian, she tries to call one of the committee members, and she pretty much tried to quit the fellowship thing, and they told her like, this is why we give people 24 hours, okay? Because it's only been about 6 hours, girl. Give it some time. You're not quitting, okay? Because she tried to give the whole family tea and like, hey, my daughter going through this, my husband going through a campaign. I can't do this. I actually had every excuse in the world, child. But I understood it. But I'm glad that they did not accept that um decline until it was time. So I'm like, okay, girl, that was nothing but God, okay? So Lisa, she confronts Will about the whole mugshot and the whole case, and Will allow she allowed Will to explain himself, which I appreciate. And then Carlton, he tried to step in and vouch for Will, and he was like, Lisa is not what you think. So I'm like, okay, Carlton, growth, hunty, yes, I love the growth. But Lisa, well, she was looking out because she was like, yeah, my dad knows, and he's going to use it against your Uncle Phil. So of course he felt horrible. Like he was like, oh my God, what have I done? I'm like, yeah, what you do, boy. I'm glad you taking accountability because this is all your fault. Oh God. So y'all be at the debate. And so, Uncle Phil, he's prepping and he gets a visit from Judge Wilkes, okay? Was it Sherman Hensley, Judge Wilkes in the original one? Y'all let me know. But yeah, that was a funny character. But this one, I don't like him. He got to go, okay? But he pretty much told Uncle Phil like he's disappointed and he's been expressing his disappointment because apparently, they had a plan and Phil did not go with it. And so he's pissed off and Phil was like, okay, whatever. So we see Carlton and Will, they're trying to get into the building to warn Uncle Phil about the whole Judge Wilkes situation, but the security guard was like, I'm not leaving my post. I don't know, if you guys are legit. I might have you. I'm sure there's like photos and news are like, do you not read any media? I'm sure this is kind of like the thing of the town. Like you should be able to recognize the family. I mean, you're a security for God's sake, so you should be able to know names and faces. Like, bruh, come on. So Steven, the campaign manager, notices at the door. I guess they text him or whatever. And they go in and warn Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil was like, okay, it's cool. And my hand's like, I appreciate you guys telling me. But yeah, I got this. So the debate starts. And yeah, Uncle Phil, he steps down and he withdraws from the race. He was saying, like, my family comes first. And I was like, oh my God. Like, y'all, legit, I was like tearing up. Your girl was over here tearing up because it was so beautiful. Like, not only you saving yourself time and money, you saving your family stress from being perfect. Hillary, because she could be thotting on Instagram now if she wants. And Carlton can throw all the parties he wants to, but he probably won't. I hope he ends up with that girl Aisha. I think that's her name. But yeah, y'all. And most importantly, Hillary, Aunt Viv gets to explore and accept that fellowship sponsorship or whatever it is. Like I'm so excited. Like she's able to pursue her dreams, and I'm sure he's gonna be working, but he's able to kind of be home while she's doing her thug this around the world or what have you. Okay, so I'm like, yes. But y'all, what's gonna happen? Episode 10, okay, because they are going to play with us, okay? They're gonna play with our emotions, and I am not sure if I'm ready. Like, we just had this whole happy moment, okay? But this is a drama. So yeah. I'm gonna buckle up my little seatbelt over here, okay? But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. Please let me know how you guys felt. Please drop down in the comments. Like this video and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys for the finale, God willing. Toodles.